Good afternoon again. We're going on a color walk on every trail I've got here. Take a gander at how it looks, and it looks like, well, I just checked the radar. There's nothing coming. They say rain will begin in 37 minutes, but it's a figment of their imagination. This morning I looked out and as it was raining, and I thought, oh, you know what? I could start the fire. No, don't even think about it. You're waiting until snow is on the ground. So I'm waiting until snow is on the ground. Man, oh man. There are mosquitoes. Look how it's cleared out. Oh man. Can see through there now. I forget from the middle of summer till the middle of winter what a huge change there is in visibility. And I've been aware of it more than ever this summer because I want to get out and begin working on the loop for the ATV trail. I think I had better get a sweatshirt on. It's not cold. Something to protect my arms from mosquitoes. Oh my gosh. That is just spectacular. Landmark oak. Okay. We'll start out on the Bog's Edge Trail. I'll try and announce each trail if I can remember them. A good training exercise. You think she's happy to get out? I had to get out of the house. It was sweltering in there. From when I had a fire going this morning, it was up to 72. And then the oven on for 45 minutes. Oof. Hot, hot, hot. At 3:30 this morning, I heard wolves again. Very far off, racing through the underbrush. See the grin on her face? I'll have to back this up and do a freeze frame because I sure saw a grin anyway. All right, we're going to go on Trot Trail first, or second, I guess. We were on Bog's Edge first. Oh, here we are. Dennis's land. Our land. The water's way down. Wow. It was way up in here. Well, it was a couple weeks ago. Just magic. Magic, magic. Well, I should think in another week I could come out here and begin going through further to the east where I want to make the loop trail. Begin marking it out, or at least begin getting a taste for where it can go, the route. Yeah, these are the giant red pines. And down there is the bog. But this has opened up a lot here too. ATV trail is going to come through somewhere. I guess over in there. I shouldn't even say it's going to, because I'm as fickle as a woman. It's a woman's prerogative to change her mind, right? God, I remember my 4th grade teacher, Ms. Wholesome, telling me that line. How is it you can live a whole life of 4th grade? She was one of the nicer teachers we had. This was in Minneapolis. Public schools. Cleveland Elementary School. Anyways, how can we live a whole school year and have only one memory? I don't have an answer. Miss Wholesome or Mrs. Wholesome? Don't remember. Holsum. A rather matronly, buxom woman. She was a nice lady. Remember my kindergarten teacher was not a nice lady. These teachers had no idea what children are about. They don't understand kids at all. She sent me out of the classroom one morning for being an upstart, I don't remember what I was doing. I was just being a kid. She sent me to the principal's office to sit there until I tell you to come back or something. I was mortified. Had to go into the principal's office, and then of course the secretary asked me what I'm doing there. Miss Gallagher told me to come here. I don't remember any more than that. 6th grade, I started out, there were 2 6th grade teachers. Both men began the school year in one guy's classroom. Within a day, I was transferred out of his 6th grade classroom into Mr. Brown's classroom, who was right across the hall. I don't know how I found out, but I guess apparently this first teacher he had heard about me. My reputation preceded me into the school year. Based on what, I have no recollection. But so I got to be in Mr. Brown's classroom. He was a nice guy. I enjoyed him. He enjoyed me. I wasn't a troublemaker. And it turns out in hindsight, you know, a kid my age in grade school, at least for me, I had the idea, because I had been told, that I'm a bad, naughty boy. And that everything that I get in trouble with is because I'm a bad, naughty boy. Well, it doesn't take long before you realize you're a bad, naughty boy. You're no good. And that kind of thing sticks with you for your whole life. At least until I divorced my second wife and realized, maybe I'm not as bad of a naughty boy as I was led to believe by the people who loved me. Teaching has come a long way. I've been watching a television show on Netflix. No, it was Amazon Prime. The Fall. Just how it sounds. Oh, look how you can see out. Oh, yes. Wow. Just a few leaves get knocked down and look at the view. I'm not going to be one of these people that tells you all about the plot and the movie and yada, 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 but this is goes the deer again. I don't know if you can see the flash of light through there. You probably could. Takes place in Northern Ireland, Belfast. Serial murders. It's superb. It's really very, very thoughtfully written. There's like 5 seasons. That's the thing I love about TV on Netflix now. You're not limited to a 1 hour. Come to the conclusion, find the killer, and wrap it up. You've got weeks and weeks to really submerge into the plot and the characters, the people, their personalities. And the writers must just love this format where they can firmly develop over time. And there's no commercials anyway. What struck me, the young daughter of the serial killer is brought in and questioned by a couple of female detectives. At one point they asked her a question about something and she said, "I can't tell you. It's a secret. He told me it was a secret. I could never tell anybody." And the person questioning her, I'm okay. I realize that. I respect that. That's very good. You're a very good girl for keeping a secret. And this questioner had other ways around getting this young girl to trust her. She was probably 9 years old. And I just marveled at the psychology of modern policing, if you will, I guess. But how that kind of psychology would have made huge differences in the lives of millions of kids growing up in this country. And I'm thinking naturally the late 50s and early 60s, but what a different place the U.S. might be if teachers like my kindergarten teacher and the other teachers, my 5th grade teacher was a redhead, just a fiery temper. Oh my God. I guess that's the end of my point. I just wanted to talk about this little girl who was treated with such respect and not, "You've got to tell me. This is a very serious matter and don't you be a bad girl. You sit down and you sit there until you're ready to tell me," and walk out. The poor kid, she's honoring a promise. Wow. Makes me want to cry sometimes to think about what could be, what could have been. If only. All right, well, we've seen the view up here. I guess I've been so busy. I don't know what there is to see. Well, I don't even know what I was really looking for. I was looking for a dead... I wonder if that's it right there. Out there. Not this. I'll bet that is the one that I've been looking for from the photo. Yeah. So now I know when I look at the picture, I will know that that dead tree is dead center of where I'm going to build a fire this fall. A little fire. There's all the wood I need. It'll be dried out by early November before hunting season. We're just descending like a nude descending the staircase. That's the path to the prow up there. This is the game trail opening, which is quite a bit more open now. And we're just ready to rejoin the mowed portion of the ATV trail slash soon to be loop, which is going to go right through there for starters. I'd like to bring you with me if you'd be willing to come along the stretch 4 miles that I told you about. And I came back from town yesterday. It was just spectacular color. Those have got to be gopher, but I have never seen a gopher out here. I see chipmunks and red squirrels. Do chipmunks do that? No. I mean, look at this. There's one out there. There's one way down behind that tree with the ribbon on it. There's this one, this one, this one, this one, that one. The ones I cleaned up out of the front yard, 2 days ago with the shovel. There were 2 there, for starters, for 3-4 days. Then I look out one morning and there's the 3rd one. I guess I really don't know what they're doing, except pissing off homeowners that have a lovely, manicured, highly expensive, weekly maintenance paid. ChemLawn is the one company. I just cringe at that name every time I hear it. ChemLawn, as in chemical. And look at all the slashings. That's what that's called, those dead branches that I sawed off the tree I had felled. Trees, I guess. There were at least 4 or 5 out here till I decided to put a stop mainly to that. Chuck likes leaving these old rotten trees standing. And this is an example of I wouldn't have thought a thing about. Just, well, it's a nuisance. It's in the way, it's ugly, it's not alive, so let's take it down. No, it's habitat and food for birds. Look at the holes that have been pecked. Holes up there that could be dens, bird nests. Even higher up I see one. They're a fantastic habitat and food source for the forest. And if they weren't meant to be left standing, when they die, they would just tip right over because of my reasoning. They're worthless, they're dead, there's no reason for them to be in the way. No, the forest has many, many, many ways of life and living and how it works all together that we humans just assume. Do you hear the callback farther away? When you hear the crow again, if you do, keep listening, because a little farther away is a raven answering. Well, there was the raven. I don't know if you could hear that. It was very faint, but it's a much different call. It's lower pitched, guttural. There's our golf ball. I'm just going to leave it there. All right. Well, I don't have any more trails to take you on. Suki's calmed down. Although that reminds me, we're at the family cabin in about 2012 with my daughter Chelsea and her husband. Caleb was there. We were putting a new roof on the cabin, sitting around the fire the last evening we were there. It was dark, it was night, this is July, and we heard owl quite close to the clearing in the fire where we were. Oh, that's neat. It's not really unusual to hear owls. And then we heard another owl a little distance away, and they began conversing, if that's a word you use for how owls communicate. And then we heard the owl that was closer to us calling as it was flying away from our location. And it was silent for a minute or two. And then we heard some calls from these owls that I've never heard before. And they got a little more joyous, a little more excited, a little more high-pitched. And then they went into just a whirlwind of calling or hollering or screaming. I'm not kidding. I'm not making any of this up. I may be being a little facetious, but I was just slack-jawed to be obviously hearing a mating going on. I'd never heard anything like it, and it was very impressive. Jesus, God, what is that? That sort of highlights what I've talked about before. I hear sounds around this house, inside and out, that absolutely are inexplicable. You know, after our little drive, I could bring you down here. I have an extra axe or two, and you could help me grub up some of those offending trip stubs. Yeah, I'd like that if you'd help. Oh, no, there's a sound I at first didn't recognize, and how Suki got all the way from down by the fire pit up to the bucket full of water that she drinks out of, I don't know. She's a spirit at times. Don't look at my hand in my pocket. I'm just resting it there. No, there's nothing here. You're obsessed with treats, and you haven't earned it. You didn't do anything to get it. Oh, look at that. Wow. Political announcements. He's a natural for responsible spending. Oh yeah, just gonna toss out apples as I drove because I've had enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 12. That'll bring the riffraff up here. Yeah, look at that maple in there. How can it be? It was just a week or two ago that I was taking oak out of here, bringing it up to the car. That was more than a week ago. never been able to hit the gas and the brake at the same time. By the way, these are really good apples. Wow. See what I mean? That's it for this time. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button. See you next time.